Justice League Dark number 15, written by Jeff Lemire and Ray Fox, art by Mikel Janin. Last issue left off with the whole team basically saying, okay, we gotta go get Zatanna and Timothy Hunter because they teleported out at the end of whatever event that was. And this issue picks up saying, okay, where are they? And we come across this dude in like a mech suit that kind of looks Green Lantern-y. He's called Officer Vicker. And basically they're like, hey, someone just teleported. That's a Class B crime. Go and arrest them, Officer Vicker. And he's like, will do. And we see the people who teleported are, of course, Timothy and Zatanna. They just show up in the middle of the woods, and the caption says they're in the wild area, which I guess is the name for the whole thing. I don't know. But regardless, as soon as they land, like immediately they are attacked by a giant, and Zatanna uses her magic and is like, giant, get out of here. And it causes a huge effect. And she's like, whoa, okay, I'm feeling like super powerful for some reason. And another giant shows up and she starts attacking that one as well. And she's like, oh my God, this place, it's got so much magic in it. You got to feel this, Timothy. And Timothy's like, I don't want to do the magic thing. And she's like, right, sorry. Yeah, it just feels really good. Just know that. And so then Officer Vicker shows up and he's like, hey, you guys committed a Class B felony. I will bring you in for questioning. And she's just like, hey, we don't know what you're talking about. We just want to get home. We have no idea what happened. And he's like, oh, enough of your lies, witch. I'm going to take you in before you can do anything. And so she starts blasting him with magic. And he immediately, his suits are like, you can't handle that much magic. Like, it is overloading your system. And so maybe you could take a sample and get out of there. And he's like, negative, I'm going down. And so at that point, we cut back to Constantine talking to Dr. Was it Johnny Peril? I think it is. Yeah. And he's looking over the books. He's trying to figure out what's up. And Constantine's just giving him a hard time, just being like, we really, really need to get in there. So tell me your science can do something that our magic can't. And he's just like, need you to back off a little bit. Need you tiny little bit. Look, here's the thing. Do you have any of the boys' blood? And he's like, no, I don't have. Why would I have any of the blood? He's like, hey, I would not put it past you, Constantine. But here's the thing. I've analyzed this, and yes, we need his magical signature, but there also is like a 23,000 encrypted lock, and it just so happens that that's how many proteins are in this boy's chromosomes. So, kind of a blood lock. We need his blood. And Constantine's like, okay, if I get you a nearby relative, would that work? And he's like, I guess, maybe. He's like, all right, well, get everybody prepped. I'm going to go get his dad, BRB. So then we're going back to Zatanna, who's currently blowing the armor off of this guy and apparently committing a whole bunch of new felonies in the process as the guy's comms keep on throwing out new things. And finally, Timothy's like, Zatanna, maybe stop. You look like you're hurting him. And at that point, it distracts her enough that he's able to get a shot off on Zatanna, takes her down. And then these hands start coming out of the ground and start pulling Timothy and Zatanna down before Vicker can do anything about it. And he's like, all right, well, they just disappeared. I think it was wood nymphs. Either way, if we want to fight them some more, I'm going to need some upgrades to my armor. And they're like, 10-4, come on in for it. So then we see Zatanna and Timothy are being brought down into this underground cavern by a bunch of wood nymphs and other mystical-looking characters. And they were like, is it true? Are you him? Are you the one we've been waiting for? And Timothy's like, what? I don't, who? And they're like, Hunter, Hunter, Hunter. So yeah, he's Hunter. Cutting back to Nanda Parbat, Constantine's brought Timothy's dad, and he's like, hey, so you guys say my boy's missing. And they're like, yeah, we're trying to help go find him right now, but we need a bit of your blood. And he's like, all right, well, if it'll help find my son. So he rolls up his sleeve, gives off some blood, and basically Black Orchid asks Constantine, like, do you know what we're getting into here? And he's like, no, I have no idea. But hey, expect the worst and you'll never be disappointed. So they use Dr. Mist's powers as he's being possessed by Dead Man, and they use the blood from Timothy's dad to basically open the portal, but they straight up say, this is only temporary. We don't know when it's going to close. Best guess, you have like 48 hours. and then the portal may never open up again. So really go for it. So they go through and they all teleport into basically the same point where Timothy and Zatanna were. But as soon as they arrive, everyone's just like, something's wrong here. And starts off with Xanadu. She's an immortal. As soon as she gets there, she immediately looks old. She's ancient looking. She's like, what's going on with me? Black Orchid, who normally is very humanoid looking, starts billowing up into this giant, monstrous size thing, though still has all the same mental capacity. She's like, I'm good. I don't know what happened, but I'm now like a monster. Deadman keeps on trying to interject, just being like, hey, guys, something I need to say, because he's not in Mist's body. He's in his own body. But then as Constantine pipes up, he's like, wait a minute. I can't lie, because he openly admits to being afraid and to not knowing what's going on. He's like, oh, geez, I can't lie. That's not good. But then Deadman finally shuts him up for a second. He's like, dude, do you get it? This was my outfit. I'm no longer dead. I'm alive again. And he takes off his mask and you see that it's just Boston Brand wearing the outfit again. And he's like, I'm alive. And then he's immediately shot in the head. I'm not kidding. He is shot in the head by Officer Vicker, who's shown back up in even bigger armor. And he's like, hey, your friends caught me off guard the first time, but I'm prepped now. So stand down or we're going to have problems. And that's where the issue ends off. I feel so bad for Deadman. I mean, I'm sure we're going to have a little bit more with that, but just the fact of I'm a lot, it seems like a South Park joke more than anything else, but it's so good. No, I think this was a solid issue. I think it set up some interesting new settings of whatever these wildlands are. They clearly have their own science versus magic sort of thing going on, with Vicar seemingly on the science side, whereas these wood nymphs or whatever got their own thing going on. It seems interesting to me. It seems like a good start to a new story. We got a time deadline on it in 48 hours. Of course, in comics, that could literally be 12 issues. So we'll see how long it takes. But I am excited by this new arc. I think that it's going to be an interesting story to tell. So overall, I'm going to give this one a 8. I think it is very good. I am looking forward. Mikel Janen's art, fantastic as always. But yeah, next issue hopefully won't disappoint.